as a team on attack, we don't want to be predictable, but we want to be predictable for each other. We've got to have expectations of each other that you're going to be where you said you're going to be, and your passing game is all part of that. It doesn't matter whether I'm coaching a Rugby Bricks skill session with kids turning up learning how to pass, or in the professional environment like in the NRL with the Bulldogs, the Tigers, the Warriors. I always start with piecing together with the 4 pieces of the puzzle what we need to work on to improve our catch and pass. Welcome to this Bricks episode. My name is Peter Breen, your founder and host of the Rugby Bricks podcast, and on today's Brick, we're talking about catch pass. And for me, how I look at it, every time that I turn up, no matter the situation, the team, the vibe, the age group, there's 4 pieces of the puzzle that we need to coach and get through to the players that are really important to be successful, and also stand out to coaches and selectors that you're on top of your skill, you really care about your passing game. But if you focus on these 4 areas, it's really going to set you up for success. And if you're a coach listening, maybe you've spent a little bit too much time in some of the areas of passing and not enough in other pieces of the puzzle. So I'll give you the 4, then I'm going to go into a bit more detail on each of the 4. Number 1 is catch skill, how you're actually catching the ball. Number 2 is your front thumb and your release of the ball. Number 3 is where does passing power come from? What muscles do we use in the pass to actually put power and energy through the ball? And number 4 is all about the movement and running while we're passing. So these are the 4 foundational parts of passing. Then we can go into gameplay and deception and offloads and all the other stuff. But all I'm talking about is these are the 4 pieces of the puzzle when it comes to the foundation of building a passing game. So let's go into a little bit more detail. Number 1 is catch skill. We can all think back to when we're playing all those pressure situations. You're about to get landed on by defenders. The halfbacks put a bullet pass out in front. You need to have the ability to catch that ball early and then get into a decision, get into a ball carrier, get into a hook pass out the back. But it all starts with how you catch the ball. You need the skill to deal with whatever pass is coming. Sometimes they're coming hot, sometimes they're low, sometimes they're back shoulder. Sometimes you've got a rolling start and you've got to have the ability to control feet and actually catch the ball clean. I always start with multiple different catch drills. I get the tennis balls out, make sure each hand's working individually, catching the ball clean with 2 hands, dealing with ugly passes. Your ability to manipulate your body and have flow and feel and touch and rhythm all comes into catching the ball. And I don't think we spend enough time on how do we catch the ball. I also touch on with teams, what is a contact catch? So it's that one where we're about to get landed on by a defender. I've got to turn my body in towards the target, so show basically my halfback or the player inside my chest, so they've got a really good target. I get low, I drop my shoulders, I catch the ball on the chest or on the gut catch that we talk about, and actually coming up with a way to add that catch with a bit of footwork to be powerful into contact. So catching isn't just one style of catching either. It's the ability to deal with different situations on the field and prepare our players to be ready for anything. The third one that I go into with backs is how can you keep your running gait and keep moving and not do that big jump that we quite often see players do or prepare for the catch. I talk about being scared of the ball, and it's not that you're scared of the ball, but you're really slowing down, you're stutter stepping, you're affecting your stride because you're so anxious about catching this ball. What would happen if I can just keep you at full steam, so keep your bottom half running and just your upper body can move? That way, if we have a whole backline in flow, keeping their feet on the ground and moving and fast, we're moving the ball through the backline fast, but also the overall speed of our backline is much quicker. So how can we avoid those back shoulder jump catches or stutter stepping or manipulating your feet so that you can be in flow when it comes to running and catching? Again, all we're talking about is catching right now. Number 2, I have to give him credit for this. He really drove home the message for me around your front thumb on the ball. So how can you create spin with your front thumb? If you've never seen this before, I've done heaps of videos on YouTube and on Instagram, TikTok, talking about your front thumb and creating energy. And for me, this is kind of like your release. With my basketball background, we always had a lot of chat around feeling the basketball and what's the release point, the fingertips. What do you feel like on those 2, your index finger and your middle finger? What does the release point actually feel like? For us in rugby, it is that backhand, but also that front hand getting through to target. Can we train that habit? Now, when I get players to spin the ball in front of their face and just do little micro mini passes to themselves, they'll have one side that's really strong. They go to the other side and that front thumb is a little bit clunky. It doesn't really know how to add value to the pass. As soon as you build this habit on both sides, so both left and both right side passing, your front thumb now becomes the thing that you can really lean into and trust that front thumb to find your targets. Especially with the spiral pass, it is so crucial to have that front thumb active and engaged, and everything else can follow on from it. I can trust upper body strength and all the things we're going to talk about with passing muscles. The last thing is that release. So that front thumb and the release of the fingers is super crucial to put some time and effort into. And my favorite thing about that is you can do it by yourself daily, every day. Number 3 is your passing muscles. We don't use our core enough for passing. So I'm all about the bicep, the pec, the tricep, and the follow through, all those muscles that we can easily see. But I want you to think about a shot putter and the time that you've done shot put at school. I know that we've all done it. It's a really unique movement. You wind up the body, you use all your energy, you've got big rotation, and you get that shot put moving. Well, similar to the rugby pass, we want to be up and down the field, so north and south, body going forward, carry it up the guts, go straight, carry forward. Yes, we do. But when it comes to passing, we actually want to use some core rotation and core rip. That's going to add some power in passing so that we can throw those big bridge balls over the top, the miss 2 pass, or if we're just doing a fast transfer spiral, our upper body can catch the ball clean, catch skill, we can have feet on the ground, we can use core rip and get into our pass straight away using the right passing muscles. So once we've got those 3 all clean, then we can get into running and passing. So inside foot up, outside foot up, the ability to separate the lower half of the body from the upper half. What I love doing is getting the players in 4s and just doing walking lengths of the field, so about a 7-meter pass. But if I was to just put a blanket across the field and I could only see legs, I should be able to see your legs just continuing to walking. They're not going sideways or skipping or missing a step or getting out of alignment. Your lower half of the body is separated from your upper half, and you've got the ability, just with your passing technique, your release, your core muscles, to pass the ball 7 to 8 meters, no worries, no leg power needed. There is times we do need leg power, 100%, massive big cutout balls or bridge passes or halfback passing. We need our legs, of course we do. But having the ability to separate when we're moving at speed is really important. It also allows us to pass the ball when we want to. So rather than having to organise our feet to get ready for a pass, think of a big touch player skipping sideways, loading up the legs to throw that big pass. We don't have the time on the rugby field in 15s to always set up our legs for passing. So the ability to separate the two is really important. And then with backs, how often do we see it? Full steam. We've just made a break through the middle of the defence. We've finally got our opportunity to win a game, and the pass goes to ground because we're at full speed. We need to give our players opportunities to do passing reps at complete 100% full speed. And we set this up in drills where players have to not only catch the ball, but also pass the ball at full speed. So those are the 4. Have a think through, where are you spending your time? How much could you spend more time on either one of those 4? It's a great way to set it up. I do it every session that we do. We go through it, and then players really understand, right, there's pieces to this puzzle that bring together my passing game. And then we can go into position-specific stuff. So your first 5 has different passes to your tight 5. Your halfback's got different passing stuff that they need to get through from your locks. Think about the halfback pass compared to the little tip pass, the hook passes out the back. Spending time on those reps and many teams and micro groups working on position-specific passing. There's also things like departure timing, so making sure that whether you've got a pod set up or a back line, players understanding around departure time so that we can set each other up for success. Rush defenses are huge these days, so making sure that players are across why departure times are important so that they can hold their feet. And then just an overall discussion about your passing game. I think in every team you should have a passing culture. This is what we expect. This is what a hook pass looks like. A pass from 9 when we've got a pod off the halfback. This is what I expect, what you expect, where I need it, the timing, the departures, just the ability to have really good open discussions around your passing game and what's expected and where players need to be. I'm a big believer that as a team on attack, We don't want to be predictable, but we want to be predictable for each other. We've got to have expectations of each other that you're going to be where you said you're going to be, and your passing game is all part of that. I hope you enjoyed today's brick. I get extremely passionate about skill set. I absolutely love it. Rugby is behind the 8 ball. Other sports like golf and basketball and cricket are years ahead of us when it comes to professionalism and skill training. We're behind, and I'm really trying to bring us forward and get people talking more about the foundation skills that are rugby. Yep, in New Zealand, we've got incredible skills. We know how to play. We know how to ball play. We've got the razzle. We've got the offloads, but your foundation skill is what you can always come back to. And I'm a big fan of a game-winning pass is not standing there with the perfect follow-through. A game-winning pass is an offload while being tackled by 2 players, getting your upper body through the gap. That's a game-winning pass. We know that we're going to get there, but we've got to spend time on the foundation skill so that we can always come back to that when we need it. Please share this brick with your team or with your coach, and I'll see you on the next one.
And when you're finished with that, I suppose you're going to fly, huh?